Hello again, everybody. Sebastian here. This is going to be another Watch Over Realms video. About 2 weeks ago, when this content was released into the Forerunner server, I just used my Forerunner account to give it a first playthrough, walkthrough, just to see how the demons, soldiers, or the monsters was being released, and then kind of give you an idea of how you can adapt that to your roster. Now, some of you were really upset, or I would say uncordial, about me using Ingrid. So apparently, if you use Ingrid for this stuff, it is not a guide. For those of you that were lucky enough to have Ingrid, these stages were probably really simple for you. Now, in this example that I'm going to give you here, what I decided to do, at least to clear 13 and 14, was not to use Ingrid, not to use SunWukong, and not to use Kigiri. And as you can see here as well, I'm not using Lucius. All the other heroes that we have here, except for Dao-chan, are accessible, all right? And I do have Laya in this account, so I'm going to use her, right? She's a healer. We need a couple of healers for this, so I might as well give her a try, all right? So that's essentially here what I'm going to play for you. So I'm going to let this roll. This is stage 13, as you can see on the top. The setup here is going to be to make sure that we can target these healers right away, right? Now, if a healer just happens to apply invisibility to one of the skillkins, I'm hoping that at least Hydro can pick them up. We have Hydro in our arsenal. I think I mentioned that in that video. So that's essentially what I did here. All right. Now, my Dao-chan is A1. If you don't have an A1 Dao-chan, you can adjust the positioning, okay, to try to see if you can give the inspiration to Ares, or just keep it an Hydro, right? This is stuff that you can adapt to. But this is the one way that I figured that I could manage this. So, given that I don't have Lucius here, I was just hoping that Ares could pick everybody off. Here in this corner here, I'm using Soleil. Her bouncing fireballs can definitely deal with these waves here. And as I gave you the example on the other video, is just try to create kind of here a choke point where you can then deal with anything that is coming this way. So if you have any of your mages, if you want to use Alistar, if you want to use Iona, you want to use Ajax, they can all deal with this stuff. This stuff here is pretty much clamped down now by Ares, Hydro, and what do you have? Soleil here. There was a situation here where the HP of the skillkins were a little bit higher, so they did get to Ares, so I pulled them back, and that's what I put on Regulus. So you'll see that. The bottom line to these strategies here is that if you have the heroes, use them. This is not about, sometimes it's not a contest about whether you can, how many epics you can use, right? I bet you if you spend 7 hours on this, you'll be able to do it with just epics. You can do that. But an example I can give you, if you have Pain and you have a choice between Talon and Morphine, which one are you going to take? Okay, so here are these last two here. If you wanted to, if you think that Iona can handle all of this by herself, or another mage that you may have, you can place a marksman here. You can bring in Lucius if you want and start dealing damage to these. It makes things easy on Hydro and Ares here. So you can see here, Ares is getting into a little bit of trouble. So I'm going to pull him back, and I'm just going to bring in Regulus. And Hydro can take care of the rest. There we go. Nobody died, and we were able to clear it. So no Kigiri, no SunWukong, and no Ingrid. All right. Somewhat the same strategy I used on 14 that I used on 13. I brought in the same roster. I'm going to let this play out, and also what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you the builds at the end of the video as well, so you can watch those. All right. So I'll link the original video, the one where I saw this content in the Forerunner server. I'll link that in the description of this video in case you do have Ingrid and you want to make things easier for yourself. Aside from that, hopefully this kind of gives you kind of an idea of how you can lay things out with the roster that you have. All right. Thank you all very much for tuning in and watching, and I will see you all in the next one.